Hello, Instagram. Happy Friday and welcome to the Trish Lynn Show. Today, we are talking about self-care practices to help you increase your confidence after a toxic relationship. I'm going to give it a minute or so to catch up here and Instagram's just notifying everyone that we are live. When you come on, say hi, give us some hearts because that does help push the live in the feed. And then we will get started. I have a few things I wanted to share with you guys around this topic, just practices and, go a little more in depth on these self-care practices and maybe bring them back to my recovery and healing and how they benefited me, but really just being able to share these tips right now so that if you need them, you have them. So I'll give it a minute here and then I'll get started. Apparently, this is also a good time to go live, which is pretty good because I'm seeing a lot more people come on. When you guys come on, say hi, let me know that you are here and drop some hearts because that does push this live in the algorithm. Today we are talking all things self-care practices to help increase your confidence after a toxic relationship. So I was giving it about a minute for Instagram to keep pushing it out that we are live, and then I'm going to dive right in. And if you join in the middle, you can always catch the replay. These are going to be, I have notes today, guys. I am organized. And this way I'm not rambling. I do value your time as well as mine, but there's so many pieces that we can just get on and talk about and share. So it's been a minute. I'm going to get started. Today's episode, self-care practices to increase your confidence when you have been in a toxic relationship. And we're going to start with number one. And not only is this for personal, we can bring this into business as well. But number one, boundaries, setting boundaries. This is such an important tool to have. Because when you do not set the boundaries, you let people walk all over you. You let people walk all over what you deem as acceptable for your life. We do this in life. We do this in business. We can let our clients walk all over us if we do not set those boundaries of even, hours. This is when I am working. This is the times I'm available to you in your life. If you need a minute, you guys, I love my kids. I love my kids to death. Today has been one of those days where I am overwhelmed and overstimulated. And I finally, I had to come out and say, look, you guys need to go away. Leave me alone for a few minutes because I am going to snap. I need that space. And that is a boundary that they have to respect. Mom's about to lose her shit. Let's give her some space. And it's being able to set those boundaries without feeling guilty. There was a time that I would set boundaries and I would feel guilty for setting these boundaries. But ultimately, you have to look at it as how, if you don't set this boundary, what's it going to do to you? How are you going to feel if you don't set that boundary? I know in business, if I don't set a boundary, then I'm going to be even more overwhelmed. With my kids, if I don't set that boundary, I'm going to snap on them. And that's not the version of me that I want to be. I do not want to be that mom that snaps on my kids and absolutely loses it on them in Walmart, which may or may not have already happened today. But and this is why I love the show. This is fully raw, transparent, you guys. This is my life. This is what is happening over here. It's not all the pretty things that we can see on social media. But it's being able to set those boundaries for yourself so that you, one, are honoring how you want to be showing up. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is seeking support. I have the most incredible support system behind me since before I left. And since I left, it has grown even more. I did see a therapist when I left. Now, for me, it wasn't helpful. The support system I have of friends and family has been more helpful than seeing a therapist. But if that is something that you need, the thing is, when you've been in those toxic relationships, when you've been in a narcissistic relationship, it's not even making the decision to leave. It's being able to do the you work that focuses on your mindset so that you can stay gone. That was one of the biggest pieces for me. So being able to stay gone helped, really increase my confidence in myself, because it's having that support allows you to do the things that you need to do so that you can stay true to what you really want. If that makes sense. You guys let me know if that's making sense and resonating or not, or if I'm just not explaining it in a way that actually makes sense. I love to see all of you guys jumping on too. This is so good. So then we have self-compassion. And what you're going to notice is all of these pieces, I'm going to go through, I'm going to reiterate them all at the end too, because all of them still streamline together and come together to ultimately help you become the most confident, healthiest version of yourself. So a big one is that self-compassion, being able to not be critical of yourself for, one, things that have happened in the past, or two, things that you might not be happy about right now. You have to look at being happy with where you are and looking at how far you've come. And it's such a big piece. I'm going to read some of these comments here. That's it. The abuser keeps abusing because they don't think we'll leave. That's it. And it's that cycle of bringing you back in, right? So not only do they think that you won't leave, I left. Three times. I didn't stay gone. I would always come back. I would always try and make things work. Yes, for the sake of my family, but I would always go back. So being able to actually stay gone was a lot of work before I even left. You have to be in the right mindset. That's it. You have to, it's a hard thing to do, to focus on your mindset, because we're going to have a whole live just literally on mindset, because especially when you've been in the toxic situations, your brain wires paths, okay, based on your thoughts and your emotions and what is happening. So you're now wired to react a certain way based on someone's treating you. Your brain is automatically wired to react a certain way. And this is usually when we are in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, okay? Our nervous system goes into survival mode. So now, not only are you trying to regain your confidence that's been whittled down to nothing, you're trying to change those pathways in your mind based on how you were treated. So it's such a big process, and I don't even think the depth of this conversation is going to cover it, but I'm loving this conversation right now. And if they think, because you are a supply for them, and if they think they have anything on you, then you'll feel like, oh, I'm enough. Yes. There's so much. So having that compassion for yourself, for one, where you are at now and how far you have already come in this moment is huge. Not making yourself feel guilty for the biggest piece is when you can actually sit back and look at what you've been through and you're like, holy fuck, how did I put up with that? You can almost feel, and I've had moments where I'm like feeling guilty for putting up with the things I put up with. But when you're in it, you don't exactly see it. Right? So having that compassion for yourself for all of the things, and knowing that there is no right or wrong, it's in this moment. And when it comes to everything in life, there's no good, bad, right, or wrong. It's in this moment, this is the choice I'm going to make. In this moment, I chose to go back. Well, there's no good, bad, right, or wrong. I chose to go back for my family and my kids and try to make things work. But then it got to the point that I couldn't. So in that moment, no good, bad, right, or wrong, I chose to go the other way, right? I've cried for my previous self for putting up with what I did then. Yeah, I have. And a part of, I don't want to lose my spot here, so I'm going to put my little mouse on what we're going to talk about next. So when I did leave, I saw a therapist, and the therapist said, like, I at this point wasn't grieving the loss of my husband. I was over that. I was over that before I left. I think as women, we mentally and emotionally check out long before we physically check out. But I was grieving the loss of the last 16 years of my life. And I cried. I cried a lot. My anxiety was through the roof, to the point of panic attacks, which I spoke on the last episode. So it's all of the pieces come together, and it's having that compassion for yourself to recognize, hey, like this is a human experience. This is a loss. Like we get to grieve, we get to have these moments. Yeah, it fucking sucks when we're going through it, but we have to go through it at the same time, because if we just stuff it down and we don't actually grieve the experiences that we've had, we're not going to be able to go to that other side and to that next level. All of those pieces are going to continue to come up, right? So next is focusing on self-discovery. And this is a huge piece, and it is still ever changing. Like the self-discovery, self-identity piece is always evolving. Always evolving. Because not only, and this is the way I talk about it with my clients, who you are today is not who you were in the past. But it's also not who you are in the future. You get to decide each and every day who it is you want to be, how you want to show up. And you're not that same person you were before the relationship. So now it's coming back to discovering, who are you now? There's a lot of pieces of me from before, but I am not the same person. And I have that experience now that I get to build on. So really learning and being able to learn about who you are. That helps build up your confidence. You're like, oh yeah, no, this is who I am. You don't even get me started on the dating world. If any of you guys are dating again after a toxic relationship, yeah, we could probably do a whole episode on that, because knowing who I am now and where I'm going and what I'm doing, it's not leaving much luck for any of the guys out there. Mind you, it's online dating because I don't leave my house because I'm working on all the things that I'm working on. Mindfulness, practicing mindfulness. Yes, Mel, we question who we are because we don't know who we are. We've lost track of who we are because we've tried to fit a mold of who they want us to be. Our opinions never mattered. Our thoughts never mattered. I mean, nothing we said ever really mattered, right? So it's coming back to all of that. Mindfulness. Being able to calm in the chaos is so important. For me, usually it's as simple as sitting outside and listening to the birds. I don't know why. I love it. Actually, going to the beach is probably number one. Sitting outside is number two, even though it's the most accessible. Just going down to the beach and listening to the waves hit the shore. I don't get to do it year-round because I live in Canada. So it's not the best, but it is the most relaxing form of mindfulness for me, because I actually just get to sit And what I do is I'll sit and I will focus on my breathing. So I'm not like fully meditating, listening to like a guided meditation, but I'm sitting there just in complete stillness, allowing my body to relax, this tells your nervous system, okay, like we are good, we are safe, and giving it that just complete calm. And I will sit and I will count my breathing as I listen to the waves rolling in. I know, I'm coming. I'm coming soon. And we're going to sit on the beach and we are going to celebrate. And speaking of sitting on the beach and celebrating, the next point is celebrating small victories. You guys, every little thing that you do needs to be celebrated, because whether you think it's something or not, it is. There's so many little things that you can get caught up on and in and day out, and just being able, like, we're human, right? We always want to go to what is next, and we're always reaching for up here, that we forget to celebrate all the little steps along the way. And all of those little steps are literally the stepping stones that are getting us to that end goal. And we can forget to celebrate. And I've just literally been in like this, holy shit, this is my life moment for about a week now, because I am so grateful in all of the things that are coming. That I think last weekend I went out and I bought myself a beer, and I'm like, I'm going to go sit outside. I'm going to enjoy this and just sit in what it is that I'm creating and how far I've come. Because this time last year, I wouldn't have expected to have a show on Instagram. Like, I wouldn't have had the confidence in myself to have a show on Instagram. So for me, that is not just a small victory, that's a huge fucking milestone. But it's been all of the little pieces that have gotten me here. So being able to celebrate those is, you have to. So actually, we're going to pause right now. I'm not going to go on to the next one. I want everyone to drop in the comments a small victory that they can celebrate right now. And if you're catching the replay, I want you to do the same thing. I want to see it in the comments. What is a small victory that you can celebrate right now with us? Mel, I know you got one. I just don't know if there's a delay or not. Yes. Casey, I'm so happy. Signed a small it's a client, right? So here's the thing. If you are not signing clients into your business, you don't have a business. This is amazing. Who else has got something we can celebrate? Yes, see, Mel, I knew it was there. I was waiting for it. Mel quit her job last week. And this has been a moment that we have been waiting for. If you guys missed my very first episode 1, Mel was on with me. And this has been a moment that we have been waiting for a very long time. And we knew it was coming. So celebrations were very much in order. Birth. You know what? I'm surprised I've been able to articulate my words right now as much as I have. Booked a new breathwork session today, and I love that. Breathwork is so important. It is such an important piece to just healing our bodies and being able to come back. Me too. I love that. You guys, this is so exciting. We are all just growing and expanding, and I'm so excited for all of us. Last is setting positive affirmations. So the biggest piece of, I love that. Yes, I love that. Somatic breathwork practitioner. I'm excited to bring that to the show. Really excited, because I am certified in breathwork and I don't do anything with it. So I'm really excited to have that conversation and learn more. Our last piece is setting positive affirmations. Now, while I don't have affirmations posted all around my house, I used to, I don't anymore. I actually used to have them pop up on my cell phone at certain times of day. I got sick of notifications because my phone has started going off a lot, so I have turned off like all notifications. But this is a great way if there's something you want to manifest, or if there's something you want to constantly remind yourself, like, put it in your phone. Set it as an alert to go off every single day. You can have it. I do have a picture right here that says "You've got this." This is we're in my new setup now. I got kicked out of my son's room, so we are in mine, and I got everything set up this morning. And this is a picture that I've had for 8 years now, and it's just that little reminder every single day that no matter what, I've got this. I wake up, I see the picture. I go to bed, I see the picture. And now it's above my desk. So just the little affirmations that you can keep reminding yourself. Remember, your mind listens to what you tell it. So if you are lacking that confidence in yourself, make it a simple reminder of, I am a confident, strong woman. And keep feeding that to your mind every single day, as many times a day as you need to. Yes, it is. It's a way to remind. It's a way to remind yourself of the things that you want to remind yourself. Right? You've got this. It's just a matter of constantly repeating it, because when you've been in those toxic situations, it's not there, and you don't see it or hear it every day. You know, I can very much go on. I actually was having this conversation the other day with a pre-podcast interview about confidence and, you know, the body confidence, like external body confidence. I'm going to do a whole episode on confidence, but external body confidence. I remember a time after, I think I had already had Emma. And I remember a time where I was told I'd put on weight. So now, I will get ready in the morning, and you guys can all laugh at me even if you're catching the replay, but when I get ready in the morning, I don't have any clothes on in front of the mirror. And instead of being upset or mad or feeling degraded for the things that I have been told, I will tell myself all of the positive things. I have a ton of stretch marks. I've also lost a ton of weight. So for me, I'm like, oh, more fucking stretch marks. I'm like, wait a second. More stretch marks means I'm getting closer to that goal I set for myself. It's all in how we approach things, right? So being able to shift that, negative thought of, I've got fucking stretch marks to, I'm getting closer to my fucking goal. It makes all the difference. Is there anything else you guys want to join in on this wonderful live? If not, I'm going to close out because this has been really good. And I'm going to recap the practices. And then I actually am going to throw it in the caption as well for anyone who wants a quick look at them if you're catching the replay. So I'm going to recap. I want you guys to remember that healing from a toxic relationship is a journey. It's important to be compassionate with yourself and patient with yourself as you go through this process, as you navigate everything that you've been through, because it's not just a, one and done. It's a continual process. As you continue to grow, all new things are going to come up. They're going to trigger you. And it's being able to have these practices in place that allow you to respond to what is happening around you versus reacting. We never want to react. So being able to have these practices in place allow you to respond to everything that's going around you, then could potentially set you off. Helps you then, increase that confidence in yourself because you fucking got this. And gives you that, you get to come back to who you are. So for the recap, the practices, the self-care practices to help increase your confidence after a toxic relationship. 1, set boundaries. 2, seek support. 3, practice self-compassion. 4, focus on self-discovery. Who the fuck are you now? Write it out. Who do you want to be? This is your time. You get to be whoever you want to be. Not who you thought they wanted you to be or who they tried to mold you to be. Who you want to be. This is such a big piece, okay? Mindfulness. Celebrate the small victories. You guys, these are the stepping stones to the end goal. Set positive affirmations. You can put them in your phone so that they pop up daily. You can have different ones throughout the day. So take these with you. I'm going to make sure I post them in the caption. Today was absolutely amazing. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you guys back here on the Trish Lynn Show Monday. We are talking sustainable weight loss for women who are over 30. Bye, guys.